A little after 9 o'clock. I did not want to wait until halftime of what many Bills fans are going to say is a very big game for the Buffalo Bills. I disagree. But we'll start it off the right way, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this post-game edition of Believers Talk, this live post-game edition of Believers Talk, where we're going to talk about the game yesterday between our Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game the Buffalo Bills win, and you match the Buffalo Bills win with the Miami Dolphins loss, and you're talking about a Buffalo Bills team that now holds a 2-game lead in the AFC East with 3 games to go. And not only do I hold a 2-game lead with 3 games to go, we just need to win 1 game. If the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins end with the same record, the Bills win the division. So that means that the Buffalo Bills can either go 1-2, or if the Dolphins lose 1 more game, the Bills are going to win this division. Big win, Elliot says, coming into the chat room. Absolutely was a big win. Let's go, Buffalo, says any Buffalo sports fan. That one's going on. Brian Bowers in the house. Glad you guys can join me again. As you guys are getting in here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And guys, if you're not already subscribed to Believers Talk, hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo sports coverage. We cover the Bulls and the Bills, Sabres, all of it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Sitting here, I'm watching Monday Night Football. Of course, everyone knows that if the Browns beat the Ravens in this game, then the Buffalo Bills will clinch a playoff spot. Listen, guys, and I understand we want to clinch a playoff spot. I'm excited to clinch a playoff spot. But I want to clinch a playoff spot while the Bills are on the field, right? I want to clinch a playoff spot when the Bills win on Saturday. I want to clinch the AFC East because the Bills win, not because another team loses. That's why I'm glad that we play on Saturday and the Dolphins play on Sunday. Now it's a chat, says Elliot. Absolutely. Daniel Gowries is in the house. Good to see you. Again, glad to have you guys all here. You know how we do this, guys. We're going to go over the positives and the negatives from yesterday's game. I'll keep you guys up to date on Monday Night Football. If you're not watching yourselves, currently 7-7. Looks like the Ravens in the red zone getting ready to score. But a very impressive win yesterday by our Buffalo Bills. Did not look great in the first half, right? The first half was looking a little scary for a lot of Bills fans. The Bills, 2 turnovers, right? You had the interception by Josh Allen. You had the fumble by Dawson Knox. I was actually happy they ruled that a fumble and not an interception, because Dawson Knox, he catches it, turns around, drops it, tips it in the air. It never touches the ground, and the Ravens player comes up with it. So I'm glad they called that a fumble and didn't hurt Josh Allen's stats anymore. But, of course, the Bills get that pick 6 by Teron Johnson, and that seemed to change the momentum of this game. Coach McDermott's message at halftime must have been pretty simple. Guys, we played awful, but we have a 9-7 lead. Tyler Bass misses the extra point, so we have to give him a little hard time for that. He can't with Lamar's feet, he still can't pass. Says, I don't think Lamar's been looking great. It looks like there's a run to the outside, inside the 5, gets at least a first down, and they are ruling it a touchdown on the field. I think that's going to be reviewed. Definitely a first down at least. So it looks like the Ravens just scored to go up 13-7 on Gus Edwards' 11-yard touchdown run. But, guys, there were plenty of good things to talk about in this game. And we'll talk about all of them. Stephon Diggs, of course, having a huge game. Ever since the end of that game, I asked Paul Amaro over at Hashtag Sports, I asked Stan Mitchell earlier today, was that Stephon Diggs trade the best trade in Bills history? Let me know in the comment section what you think. I mean, obviously, you can think about some other trades to possibly throw in there. I'm talking about Kiko Alonso for LaShawn McCoy. You're talking about the trade in 1983 to get the draft pick to get Jim Kelly. I forget the exact names involved in that one, but I think you guys know what trade I'm talking about. So obviously there's some other trades you can look into, but man, you have to love what Stephon Diggs has brought to this team. 100 receptions now in the season, leading the NFL after 13 weeks. And not only that, 1 more catch, he will then be the Bills franchise leader in receptions, passing Eric Moulds. Right now, tied with Eric Moulds for most receptions in Buffalo Bills history. So you look at this game yesterday, the Bills win 26-15. Again, we're going to go over some stats. We're going to talk about the negatives first, right? We always talk about the negatives first after a win, so that way we can end this video on a good note. And one of the negatives that stuck out to me in this game, and you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section, is we seem, and this is a weekly issue for the Buffalo Bills, we don't seem to wrap up It seems like we're missing tackles, especially tackles in the backfield. Now, yesterday, the way it worked for the most part is we missed a tackle in the backfield, and luckily that gave the rest of the team time to come around and make a tackle for maybe no gain or a 2-yard gain. So it wasn't detrimental, right? It wasn't like we missed a tackle and it went for a good 10, 15-yard gain most of the time. There was 1 or 2 in there, one by Tremaine Edmonds where he missed one in the backfield. They ended up going for about 7 or 8-yard gain. But it's still a matter of missing these tackles. When you go up against some playmakers, right? You talk about Kareem Hunt. How about Patrick Mahomes? You talk about some of these extreme playmakers on other teams. If you miss them, they're going to make you pay for it. If you don't wrap up, they're going to make you pay for it. You know, when we talk about missed tackles, you want to think about the tackle that Stephon Diggs broke early in the third quarter. He jumps up to catch a third down pass, gets the first down. I forget who it was for the Steelers, comes up and tries to level him with his shoulder. It was a clean hit, but Diggs lands on his feet and runs for another 15, 20 yards after that. So I think there's been a lack of tackling by this Buffalo Bills team. Both of San Fran's biggest runs against us were missed tackles in the backfield that went for 12 and 17 respectively. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. It's been a consistent problem for the Buffalo Bills in not being able to wrap up. I mean, I still have nightmares about that play last year in the playoffs. Unable to get to Deshaun Watson in the backfield. He's able to make a play, finds Twan Jones, and obviously the rest is history. We need to be able to wrap up, guys. And again, you go up against some of these playmakers, and there's playmakers on a lot of these teams that we're going to see in the playoffs. They're going to make you pay for those missed tackles. And so that's something I want to see us do a little bit better, is make those tackles, especially when we have them for tackles for loss, in the backfield. Need to be able to make sure that we get those tackles. So that's one of my big negatives from yesterday's games. Brian Bowers is in the house. Glad to see him in here. And again, guys, as you get in here, as we watch Monday Night Football together, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. And again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Happy Victory Monday as Daniel comes in. I remind everyone still a few hours left in Victory Monday. And I'm so excited for the game next week, next Saturday against the Denver Broncos. Remember, guys, I'll be giving live play-by-play and reaction to the game next Saturday versus the Denver Broncos, where we can clinch the first division since 1995. I promise emotions will be running high for that game. So I'm very excited about that one. My second negative of this game, and listen, a lot of people will talk about how good he did, and he did in the second half. We're talking about Gabe Davis. The job he did in the second half was great, especially considering the drops that he had in the first half. Listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers had the problem on that side too. Johnson, remember Johnson had a few, I think 3 drops in this game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Gabe Davis had 2 drops himself. And now Gabe Davis did finish with 3 catches for 19 yards and that touchdown, but you have to be able to catch the ball. I know it was snowing in Buffalo. I know that that the ball is slippery, right? I know those things. But he has to be able to hold on to his balls. So glad that we began John Brown back. We saw the offense struggle a lot in the first half, which is another downside to this game. Listen, Josh Allen needs to be able to calm down to start off these games. He had a lot of passes where he missed high. And what happens when you have throws that you miss high? They get deflected in the air. They lead to interceptions. Watch the Kansas City Chiefs-Miami game yesterday. Patrick Mahomes had 2 throws that were thrown high, got deflected in the air, and intercepted by the Dolphins. The Bills cannot allow that to happen. They can't lose the turnover battle week after week after week. Now, luckily, we got 2 interceptions ourselves, and that was great. And so we were able to even out the turnover differential. But, man, you have to be able to calm down to start off the game and throw the ball more accurately. Do you guys see on the play that Levi got the pick? He was burnt off the line. A better throw. The Steelers might have scored there. He still concerns me. Thoughts? I'm still not impressed with Levi Wallace. You're absolutely right. The reason why that pass was intercepted is because it was underthrown. In fact, when you watched the broadcast, they made mention to the fact that Ben's looking to his left. He doesn't even see Levi Wallace in single man coverage to the right until the last second. He sees it, and then it's a matter of him trying to throw the ball as far as he can. And listen, Josh Allen can make that throw. A couple other Mahomes can make that throw. But Ben Roethlisberger can no longer make that throw. And luckily for the Bills, underthrown, questionable pass interference or not, but still able to get the interception. So Happy that Levi Wallace was able to get that interception, but definitely an underthrow. When the ball is wet, Allen tends to throw it high, says Jason Crandall. Well, I need to stop. Do you know why? Because when you talk about this, because now Bills fans want to look at that possibility of a number 2 seed, right? The possibility of a number 2 seed is real. We're one game behind the Steelers. We have the tiebreak. The Steelers still have the Colts. Steelers still have the Browns. They still have a tough schedule where the Bills can surpass them. Like, that could still happen. That could still be a real thing, the real possibility, which means we'll have 2 home games in January in Buffalo. It's going to be cold, probably going to be wet. And listen, if you know your quarterback has a hard time throwing the ball in wet weather, establish the run a little bit better. I know we're playing the Steelers defense, but the only time we really established the run was that last drive of the game. And listen, everyone's talking about it, and everyone has to talk about it. 7-11 on the clock when Levi Wallace gets that interception. The Bills start with the ball, I believe, at the 28-yard line, between the 28 and 30-yard line, and the Steelers do not possess the ball again. Zach Moss with probably the best drive he's had this season as far as able to control the clock, get 4-5 yards each carry, and get first down after first down after first down. It was a great job by this Buffalo Bills team. Good play calling. Listen, earlier, not as many people are giving Brian Daboll as much credit as he deserves. He really deserves a lot of credit in this game. There were a lot of great play calls in that second half, a lot of great adjustments in that second half. We talk about how the Buffalo Bills slumped a lot in the third quarter. There was no slumping here, right? No slumping in this game. Third quarter, we come out, we score on back-to-back possessions for the first time in the third quarter all season. We score back-to-back touchdowns, one Stephon Diggs, one Gabe Davis. So, we want to continue to see those adjustments coming out of halftime. We still remember not too long ago the hard time the Bills would have coming out in the third quarter. So we want to continue to see that improvement come third quarter time. To be fair, I've seen Levi get burnt his whole career, and he's also had some of the best recovery speed in the game to make up for it. Maybe so. But as said earlier, if Ben throws that one 10 yards further, we could be talking a whole different story when it comes to this football game. But he didn't, and the Bills win. So that's what's most important in this game. So those were some of the negatives. We could talk about Tyler Bass missing an extra point. But again, those type of things are going to happen with the rookie kicker still. Remember, as the conditions change, a kicker has to get used to that. And unfortunately, sometimes those conditions worsen throughout a game. And kickers, listen, we all know about the winds in Buffalo in December and January, those swirling winds. They're going to take some time to get used to for a kicker. And so Tyler Bass really saw that for the first time in his career yesterday. Saw what Buffalo wins can do in December. Hey, Daniel, glad to see you in the chat. And he was able to adjust later in the game. Misses the one extra point early on, right? Misses that, but he makes a few field goals, makes the other extra points they need to make. So I'm not too concerned about Tyler Bass. Never like seeing a missed extra point, right? But it's not like he went out there and pulled a Dan Bailey yesterday, right? Dan Bailey should be no longer with the Minnesota Vikings after a game like yesterday. As the Browns go into the end zone, Nick Chubb scores a touchdown. Again, guys, if the Browns win on Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills clinch a playoff spot. Again, me personally, I'd rather the Bills be on the field when they clinch the playoff spot. Definitely want the Bills on the field when they clinch that AFC East title, which they can do this coming Saturday against the Denver Broncos. But yeah, the Browns just scored. Looks like extra point pending. It's going to be 14-14. So we'll see what happens. I missed 13 minutes. Sorry, Rick. I went live, I think at 9:11, somewhere around there, 9:10. Again, I normally wait till halftime, as you guys know, but recently started working third shift, so I didn't want to wait too long, and I wanted to make sure to get live. Cheering for the Lake Erie Bros, the Brownies tonight. Again, I mean, if the Browns win and the Bills clinch, great. If they don't really care. The Bills control their own destiny when it comes to the division, the playoffs, all that kind of stuff. Give me the Bills to win on Saturday, and I'll be just fine with that as well. So, again, guys, talk about the negatives. Again, we talked about the lack of tackling in the backfield. Missed tackles really plagued this Buffalo Bills team a lot so far this season. The interior offensive line was an issue in the first half, and I think that's another reason why Josh Allen had a slow start. Josh Allen definitely was feeling pressured before the pressure was even getting there. The pressure was there a lot in that game in the first half. And Josh Allen just needed to calm down, needed to relax, and he definitely showed that in the second half. And so that's what we saw. Gabe Davis's drops. He had a few drops in the first half. Really could change the momentum of this game. And I see your comment. I see it. I'm not going to show it, but I see it. Someone else already showed it, and I'm okay with that too. But yeah, so yeah, I don't like Gabe Davis's drops. I hope that he does a better job with that. Again, if Gabe Davis makes some of those catches, I believe at least one of those drops was on a third down. Talking about extending drives. Before the last drive for the Bills where we scored a field goal, the Bills only had one first down in the first half, and we need to get off to a faster start. And normally this Bills team does. Normally this Bills team does get off to a faster start. You're talking about a team that has scored the most points in the first quarter. So when we go into the first quarter tied 0-0, for Bills fans, that shows a little bit of concern. However, we know we were playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL, so we do have to give credit where credit is due. But so those were the negatives, but now it's time, of course, to talk about the positives. And I think the first positive you have to talk about from this game has to be Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs changed this game in the second half. On the first drive of the second half, Stefon Diggs had 4 receptions on that drive alone, including the touchdown at the end of that drive, right? Stefon Diggs, 10 catches, 130 yards, 1 touchdown, 100 catches on the season, the most in the league after 14 weeks. I don't think anyone in this game has a chance to catch Stefon Diggs unless they have like 30 receptions, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Gabe Davis looked like a rookie for one of the first times and still scored a TD. Glad he's getting some primetime games, getting this rook prepped for the postseason. Diggs is cold-blooded. He's as cold as ice. But yeah, Diggs had a great game. Beasley consistent, 5 for 41 on the day. But Stefon Diggs was just a man among boys in that whole game, especially in the second half. Again, 10 receptions in this game. I believe at least 7 of those came in the second half. Moss fumbles. Did Moss have a fumble in this game? I think he did, but Buffalo recovered it. So yeah, you do have to keep an eye on that as well, but still okay. Diggs is ridiculous, says Bruno. Absolutely. He absolutely is. Diggs is a dog. And again, with one more catch in the next 3 games, Diggs surpasses Eric Moulds for the team record as far as receptions in a season. So looking at the Buffalo Bills now, they're talking about the AFC playoff picture. Obviously a big game for both the Ravens and the Browns tonight. And make sure you watch tomorrow after this game. I will be taping a video about the AFC playoff picture. So make sure you watch tomorrow as I'll post that video to let you know where the Bills sit, what all they can clinch next week, and what other teams can clinch, have already clinched, things like that. So again, Stefon Diggs, definitely one of the positives from this game. Another positive from this game, I know we just talked about Levi Wallace still scaring us a little bit as Lamar Jackson tries to create with his legs and falls down. I know we talked about Levi Wallace being susceptible to those deep passes, getting burnt on that one play where he did get the interception. But guys, these cornerbacks allowed Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool, who's been one of the best rookies in the NFL at wide receiver, not the best in the NFL right now, to 6 catches and 3 catches respectively. 6 catches for Juju Smith-Schuster for 55 yards. Again, if at the beginning of the game you're going to tell me that's where we stopped Smith-Schuster too, I'm happy with that. I'll take that every day of the week. Stomp on our logo again in the pregame. Do that one more time. Surprise someone didn't pop you. I know that you do that everywhere you go. I know you like TikTok. I know you do all that kind of stuff. Tic-tac-toe. I don't care. You dance on our logo. You put your stuff around our previous owner's statue. There's going to be problems. And the problem is you're just not good enough to beat this team. That's the problem you guys have. So dance all you want to on our logo. Dress up for Halloween, our mascot, or whatever you want to do. But know that you're leaving Buffalo with an L. Know that when you come to Buffalo and you try to pull that stuff, you're leaving with an L. So enjoy it while you have it, Smith-Schuster. Enjoy your 6 for 55. Enjoy your popularity on TikTok. But don't enjoy a first-round bye because the Buffalo Bills made sure that in order for that to happen, you do not control your own destiny anymore. You don't. The Chiefs now control their own destiny when it comes to the first seed. Pittsburgh might get lucky if they win this division at this point. The Browns, if they win out, they will have a tied record with the Steelers. Could potentially be something dangerous. So thank you for giving us that billboard material. But you leave with the L. Yes, Brian, I did see that. You did post a video, share a video when Trey completely knocked Claypool down at the line of scrimmage. And yeah, it's going to be funny. Let them do all the singing and effing dancing they want. We are here to go to work. JA17 quoted right there. And that's what they did. They went to work yesterday. And again, another positive, talked a little bit about this earlier. Second half adjustments by Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll did a great job in the second half getting this team prepared. And you have to give Josh Allen credit, too, for being able to sell down. You have to give his offensive line a little more credit, too. But remember the first play of the second half? The Bills get the ball. Okay, the Bills get the ball, start the second half. And it's a rollout. It's a 5-yard out route rollout for Josh Allen. No one's going to be able to pressure you. You'll have plenty of time to get the ball away. The offensive line will be able to adjust so that way the defense won't be able to get there in time and just throw a quick out route. I believe it was to Cole Beasley. Let's get the second half started with an easy throw, and let's move on from there. That's how the drive started. And that sometimes is all it takes to get a quarterback his mojo going, right? To get his flow going a little bit. Remember, I've said this before. I used to pick up basketball all the time, right? Pick up basketball with the buddies all the time. I'm sure you all do it, right? When I practice before I play, when we're just shooting around and talking and whatever, I make sure I make my last basket. There's something psychological about completing your last pass, making your last basket, about running for a first down that gets in your head and says, you know what, guys, I can do this. Even from an offensive line standpoint, saying, hey, we can block these guys. We can get these guys. They're good. We're good too. We can do this. Welcome to NFL, Rook. Man. But and so I really enjoyed seeing the second half adjustments by Brian Daboll. None more than on the second to last drive of the game. The Bills are up 8, and the Bills have a 3rd and 11. And he sets up Dawson Knox on a screen pass. And listen, Dawson Knox did not have the best game yesterday, but he sets up Dawson Knox on a screen play that goes for about 14 yards, picks up the first down, and that drive continues. And the Bills score on that drive, I believe, and really put the game away, making it a 2-possession game. But I loved that play call because the Steelers were sending pressure all night long. And again, in the first half, that was working. In the second half, they were having a little bit more trouble getting Josh Allen. And Brian Daboll and the Bills offense read that, and they said, hey, here's how we're going to beat that. Now, all of our screen passes didn't work. In fact, I believe that one to Dawson Knox was one of the only ones that did work. But still, it worked at the best time. That Knox conversion was great. The McKenzie one was even more impressive. Yeah, McKenzie on 3rd down, right? Getting to the sticks on the I think it was the last drive of the game to melt that clock. Both very impressive. I did get mad at McKenzie because before McKenzie had the first down, McKenzie had like 9 of the 10 yards or 10 of the 11 yards. And he did a stutter step, right? He tried to juke back in. I was so mad at McKenzie. I was like, just get the first down. Because if it goes to 4th down, we have to punt. Get the first down. Stop that juke step stuff. Just run ahead and get the first down. And luckily, he still did. I look forward to Smoke's return. Smoke will return to practice this week. Doesn't mean he's gonna be active for the game. I mean, I hope he is. But Coach McDermott said that he is eligible to be off IR this week, and he will practice with the team this week as well. So I want him to be 100% healthy. The Buffalo Bills are in a spot right now where, listen, I would love the 2 seed. Let's be honest about it. I would love the 2 seed. But if it's at the risk of John Brown getting hurt again, let him rest another game, right? Let him rest another game. There's no harm in that because I think the difference between this 2 seed and 3 seed, again, is only home field advantage in the second round of the playoffs. Nothing more than that. So, again, I doubt he plays against the Broncos. I bet he gets a pitch count in weeks 16 and 17, says Rick Wark. And again, if that's what it takes for John Brown to be healthy, I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. I think this Bills team can beat the Broncos without John Brown. If we can beat the Steelers without John Brown, if we can beat the Niners without John Brown, listen, this Broncos team coming up with a win like yesterday against the Carolina Panthers, an impressive win. But I think the Buffalo Bills still can outmatch the Denver Broncos, even if this game is in Denver. I think the Bills can get the job done with or without John Brown. So I look forward to that. But yeah, definitely a lot of positives to take away from this game as Baker Mayfield extends a play and completes the ball downfield. There's a flag down. All right, Steelers fan here. You guys are extremely respected. Can't say I thought that was a great game, but I hope we get to duel this out again in January. Good luck to y'all. Hey, Brad, thank you for joining us, and good luck to you as well. So you got to love Stephon Diggs. You got to love the drive at the end of the game. Again, a 7-minute drive by the Buffalo Bills to milk the clock and keep the ball away from Ben Roethlisberger and this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. And then you have to love Brian Daboll, his adjustments at halftime to get Josh Allen and everyone ready for the second half. This offense started the second half on fire. Again, Josh Allen started the second half 11 for 11 passing the ball after a rough 2 for 7 to start off the game. And it didn't look good in the first half, but 11 for 11 to start off the second half. 2 touchdowns, 1 to Stephon Diggs and 1 to Gabriel Davis in the third quarter. Definitely made this game look like the Bills hadn't controlled the whole second half, and they did. Even though the Bills were only up 8 at one point, up 1 score, there was no point in the second half after that Diggs touchdown where it really felt like the Steelers got back into this game. I just didn't see the Steelers get back into this game. So, again, really impressive win by the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. Now we have another primetime game this Saturday against the Denver Broncos. Again, make sure you join me this Saturday as the Denver Broncos play our Buffalo Bills. If the Bills win the game against the Broncos, remember they can clinch a playoff spot tonight. They can clinch a playoff spot if the Browns beat the Ravens. Game is currently tied 14-14. However, whether the Browns win this game or not, the Bills can clinch a division title for the first time since 1995 on Saturday against the Denver Broncos. Sharing that joy with me. Like I said, emotions will be high if the Buffalo Bills win. How old were you the last time the Bills won a division? How old were you in 1995? I was 9 years old. 9 years old. 1991, the last time the Bills started 10-3. How old were you? I was 6. Or no, 5. I was 5. I don't know math. Okay, math is bad. Great job closing out the game. Absolutely. 7-minute drive, you can't beat that. And again, Zach Moss, best drive, I think, of his young rookie career so far. Did a great job. But I was 5 years old last time this team started. At least it's 10 years old. Last time this team started 10-3. And we're having the year the Bills started 10-3. We wound up in the Super Bowl. Can we do that again? Again, I don't think there was a team like the Chiefs in 1991 out there, and that's going to be a fun game to watch if it gets to that. If we play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, remember my preseason goals. My preseason goals: win the division. Well, 99% sure we got that one locked up. 2 games up, 3 games to go. Win the division and win a home playoff game. Those were the 2 things I wanted at the beginning of this season. Expectations might be beginning to elevate. My expectations of this year may be starting to say, no, we can do better than that. This team is for real. This team is a Super Bowl contender. And after the game last night, the Bills should be the second best odds to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I watched Good Morning Football today, and they said the Bills might not be the second best team in the AFC. They might be the second best team in the NFL. And that's a cool statement. Y'all aren't healthy on defense, but they still played pretty well. Talking to Brad Jarrett, it was a tough game. Absolutely. Playoff contending team. No, they're going to be a playoff team. In fact, unless I still think they're going to win the AFC North. I really do. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's still a lot of football to be played. 3 weeks left to be played. And it's going to be a fun 3 weeks. I do hope that we pass Steelers and get that number 2 overall seed. I would love to host 2 playoff games. That'd be fun. And possibly 3. Because again, if the Chiefs lose in the in the second round, I should say, because they'll have a bye, then we would host 3 playoff games. I apologize for Juju dancing on your logo. I'll ride with that kid. Oh, I have Juju on my fantasy team. So I understand Juju's a great player. And I don't think when I saw it in pregame, I think that they even said that that's something he does on all logos, right? He does it for his TikTok. And I made fun of him earlier in this broadcast for it, and I'll continue to do so. And I'll make fun of the Steelers fans who decorated the Ralph Wilson statue in Steelers colors. But just like Bills fans, some Bills fans can be ridiculous. I'll admit that. I know that just a few fans don't represent a whole fan base. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a great fan base for the most part. Obviously, they travel really well. We don't get to see that this year due to the pandemic. But yeah, we'll see what happens. He does it every game. We're on the road, says Brett. Yeah, and I thought that was the case. And so I didn't take it like, oh, look what he did. Oh, no. It's not like he went out there and like planted the Steelers flag, or there was an NFL team once who peed on the other team's 50-yard line, not before the game, not on camera. But man, just a lot of fun things coming from this Bills win. I hope you guys all are enjoying Victory Monday. That's not as cool as he thinks. I think we all like Juju, but just a bit disrespectful and surprised he hasn't got punched in the mouth yet. Yeah, I was actually watching, and was it Matt Barkley who was throwing the ball with someone right next to him as he did that? I was like, let him turn and just throw that ball right at Juju's head. Like I was, again, I have no ill will towards Juju Smith-Schuster overall, but at the same time, I thought that would have been pretty funny. I thought that would have been pretty great. But yeah, guys, that's all for this edition of Believers Talk. Wanted to get on here, wanted to talk about the positives and negatives from this game. Again, huge win, impressive win. We love this win. We love Victory Monday, but definitely some negatives in this game as well. So we wanted to talk about those a little bit, talk about the positives. But the Bills Mafia can't say much since we patented the dildo stuff. My point exactly, Elliot. My point exactly. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Victory Monday. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Again, a Browns victory would clinch an AFC playoff spot for our Buffalo Bills. But a Bills win on Saturday against the Broncos will clinch so much more. So I look forward to that. I look forward to this week. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.